Hello lovelies, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lizzie and I post a lot of beauty related content, and if that's the kind of content you like, then please hit that subscribe button down below and that notification bell so you're notified every time I upload. Today's video is very exciting again, just like yesterday's video, because again Revolution have come out with another launch. This is the XX Revolution brand, so they have launched new Flexx palettes, and these Flexx palettes are £6 eyeshadow palettes. They retail for £8, and let's just say they look incredible. Revolution website, everything is 3 for 2 except for the Relove brand, so I had to buy every single palette. And I also bought the Glossy brow to try. Now if you're part of any Patreon group that I'm a part of, you'll know that we had a little accident, and I say accident, my dog licked it. She basically ate it. I'm telling you, if I didn't spot this quick enough, she would have eaten the whole thing. So we're gonna like attempt to try some of this in the corner and see what that looks like after, but yeah, let's just say me and Saf are not on good terms right now. The boxes of the XX Revolution palettes look like this. These are the Flexx palettes and they were £8, so all of them look so different. Like, look at that. They have tons of lovely names, which I cannot wait to show you all of the names of these palettes once I kind of open them and swatch them for you. Look at this. I'm so excited. We've got a nude one, we've got a blue one, and another nude one, and that's all the boxes. I've already opened them up, so actually there's nothing in these boxes right now. Oh, except the floor. Wow, they look so incredible. This is Sugar Baby. This is a nice little purple one. Cannot wait to play with the purple one, I'm telling you. It's out of this one. Oh, that's a very hardly pressed shadow. It's out of this one, and there's one more that I'm thinking I might do a video on. The mattes are so soft though. And there we have it. That is the palette, which was called Sugar Baby. The next palette here is Heartless. I do like this palette, I really do. Has 2 mattes in. A lot of these either have 1, 2 or 3 mattes in. Like, I'm gonna say the majority are 1 or 2 mattes. This palette I really want to use, but we all know what a neutral palette can do, so I'm going to try like maybe purples or the cooler tone palette. So this palette, Heartless, I've swatched it, and it's this row down here. None of them were hardly pressed and they all swatched amazingly, so I'm quite happy with that palette. So this next palette here is called Needy, and this is what it looks like. Again, another neutral tone palette, and I have swatched it down the side here. These were really soft, extremely soft. They're the softest I've like swatched out of all of these palettes already. The next palette we have here is the palette called Britney. Now this palette was the first palette I saw and I was really excited to play with this. Only issue I've had is this shade and this shade here are very hardly pressed in the pan. However, once I actually really push my finger in there, that shade and the one from last, they're really nice. So it swatched really well in the end. The next palette we have here is Hard Rock. This one is again a lovely cool tone palette. This is the palette I'm thinking of using in conjunction with that kind of purple palette we saw at the beginning. This shade down here was very hardly pressed in the pan, and even when I've put it on my hand and swatched it, it just looks like it would cling to your eyes, so it doesn't look like it's the best formula. But the others have swatched really lovely. This next palette, look how cool that looks like. It is called Dynamite. I love it. This palette looks absolutely gorgeous. It's got like just that 1, 2 mattes in there. Do love this palette a lot. I just wish there was just like one more matte. It swatched gorgeously down the side of my hand there, like absolutely gorgeous. I didn't have any issues. So this next palette is called Fallen Angel, and this is what it looks like. A lovely blue palette. It's really nice, but I feel like these two shades are very similar. This shade is very similar. Like, there's not like a good differentiation between the colours here. Like, these lot just look very similar, and then you got those two blues. And again, there was like a hardly pressed pigment in there as well. But when I did warm it up a little bit, it actually like not crumbled, but got onto my finger a little bit better than some of the other hardly pressed pigments. So take that as you will. And last but not least, we have the palette Billy. This is the one with like 4 mattes, I believe, or no, 3 mattes in there. And I think this shade, yeah, this shade was very hardly pressed, but again, once I really warmed it up, look at it. It is stunning. I feel like I want to go for the green palette. I do love a good green eye, so I'm just going to throw down some eye base. Actually, no, we're going to use my dog's dinner first on my eyebrows. First thing I like to do is just use a spoolie and brush them up. I'm not going to use a brow jam, seeing as this is kind of like a waxy product. It comes with the tiniest spoolie and the tiniest angled brush. We're not going to use those. We are going to use my normal brush. Oh my god, it's very like melted. Like, can you see I've just dug right into that? I don't know if that's from the dog licking it or if it just is like a, you don't need too much on your brush. So I am going to wipe a bit off, but over there. I don't know, it just looks like a tint. It looks very oily. Looks like something that would wipe off of your eyebrows within seconds. Guys, don't trust my review too much because the dog did eat majority of this, didn't she? But I feel like this is just something like a tint. I don't like how harsh it's looking either. No. Alright, I don't know if you can see, but that looks horrible. I'm going to wipe that off and do my eyebrows as normal. This is a no-no from me, but it could just be because my dog ate most of it, or it could be that I just don't like that kind of formula. Okay, let's wipe this off. Look how natural that one looks, and then look how it just looks like you've put a tint over your brow. Base is all done, so we just got to choose a palette. I reckon it's out of this green one or a mixture of Sugar Baby and Hard Rock. So I did do like a pinkish look yesterday with the XX stuff, so maybe let's go green. These palettes are like that leather look, but they don't feel leathery, they feel cardboardy, and some of the cardboards in some of the palettes have ripped here a little bit. Okay, and there is no mirror. That kind of keeps the price down, doesn't it? Let's start by packing this shade on here. There's a lot of kickback already. There's the palettes from the I Heart range barely had any kickback, if any at all. It's gone on nicely though. Gonna blend it out with this lime green looking shade. I was also thinking, do you guys want me to like review one of these palettes every few weeks? Not like review it, because I think we know what the formula's like already, but maybe like do a look with it every couple of weeks, choose another palette until we're through them. If that's something you'd like me to do, I don't mind doing it. Blending out lovely. Just finished off blending those two colours together, put my cut crease down, and you know what? Should we go for that bright, hardly pressed colour and see what happens when we do that? Very crumbly, but maybe a wet base is just what it needs. Okay, that's better. You got to tap it. I think my base is a bit too wet. I don't know if you can tell, but that is very crumbly and very textured. I don't know if that was my technique, if it was too wet, but we're going to go in with another shade. We're going to try this green shade on this side instead. Let's see, because I tried my best and it just wasn't working. I can actually feel like there's loads of eyeshadow on my eye as well. Wonder if it's more of a topper. Well, this shade worked out really well. Should we add that previous shade that we put here on there as a topper maybe? Should we see if that works? Yeah, I think it's a topper, you know, guys. Yeah, it's a topper. That actually made this shine. Alright, I'm going to see if I can clean this up and match it up. this is what we're looking like so far. Let me just tell you what is on my face, because I really like some of these products. So I used the blush from the Cute palette, the highlight from the Daydream palette, which I thought it would be a bit more gold and it isn't. And then I used the Super Matte powder, so this is all Relove stuff again. Conceal and Define, the H2O primer, really love that. Next we've got this Colourpop Lippy Pencil in Hotcakes. This is a bit more pinky. I thought it was going to be more red, but it doesn't matter because the red covers it up. And we've got the shade Passion from the new Revolution Pro lipsticks, and then the Baby Gloss in Babe over the top. Roxy liner, Revolution, Relove Power Lash Volume Mascara. My eyes just look really wide awake like this, and the green is really making my eye colour pop, so I don't want to put anything underneath and like take away from that. But let's talk about the palette, because this palette is gorgeous. I do love the packaging of these palettes. I don't think it's gonna really show up properly. Again, I used the palette in Billy. Okay. Let's talk about this shade first. It is a topper, guys. It works so well as a topper. Like, it didn't give me any hassle. It literally looked like when I put it on its own, like I'd been punched in the face. And this eye is naturally smaller than this eye, so that was annoying. But at the moment, it looks gorgeous. Like, it worked really well as a topper. The shades blended nicely together, but there's only 2 shades to blend nicely. Then there's a white, but there's no point. And because the green's in the inner corner, just put a bit of highlight in the inner corner to just make it pop. So yeah, the palette is nice. £8, I reckon. Yeah, it's worth the £8. There's no mirror in here. I just wish there was more mattes in here. That is my only issues. But also, let me quickly mention, these shimmers, this one here did not work that well on its own, but as soon as I put the topper over it, it went like that. It worked really well. So use the toppers. If the one shimmer isn't working too well, put the topper over it, because you're gonna love it. And I love them, it's magnetic. It's so nice. That is my final thoughts, the final look. So I hope you guys did enjoy this video. Please smash it a huge thumbs up, subscribe down below, and I'll catch you in my next one. Bye guys.